This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed.
Let's back that up a tad bit and start it over.
This is a moment the news movement filmed on January 13th in Minneapolis, showing a man who appears to be Alex Pretti interacting with federal immigration agents 11 days before Border Patrol shot and killed him. Our footage was analyzed by the BBC, whose facial recognition technology confirmed his identity to a 97% degree of accuracy. On the morning of January...
Now, okay. What do you expect to happen? You spit at them, you bust the lights. Do you expect them to just drive away? Are they not supposed to grab you and detain you? Is that what we're thinking? But let's keep going.
January 13th, our team received a tip that federal agents were blocking a street at the corner of East 36 and Park Avenue in Minneapolis. We arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground. During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd. They continued to hold the man down before they retreat and he walks away. The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Pretti was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband.
Oh, yeah.
Here, he continues to stand at the scene. On the day he was killed, the Department of Homeland Security claims Pretti, a 37-year-old ICU nurse, approached officers holding a handgun. That claim has been contradicted by analysis of bystander videos from multiple news investigations, which concluded that Pretti was holding a phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street.
Yes, we saw that. Now let's go over into this next video just to get a little bit more detail.
And newly released video shows Alex Pretti getting into a scuffle with federal agents 11 days before he was killed. And if you look closely at this footage, you see Pretti kicking the taillight of an SUV full of federal agents. Those agents stop the car, they tackle Pretti to the ground. CBS News correspondent Lana Zak is following developments for us in Minneapolis.
Good morning. A law enforcement official confirms to CBS News that the agents involved in that fatal shooting of Alex Pretti are now on administrative leave. A new video shows that this was not the first confrontation that Pretti had with federal officials. Footage shot by the news movement and confirmed by the Pretti family shows the 37-year-old yelling and cursing at federal immigration agents on January 13th. At one point, he's seen kicking their car and breaking its right taillight. Officers then exit the vehicle and tackle him while deploying tear gas into the surrounding crowd. After a brief scuffle, Pretti is released. The officers return to their cars and drive away. An attorney for Pretti's family says he was assaulted despite posing no threat. 11 days later, Pretti was killed during another confrontation with federal agents. Tensions flared again on Tuesday night when Representative Ilhan Omar, a frequent critic and target of President Trump, was sprayed with what sources say was a syringe full of apple cider vinegar during a news conference where she called for the abolition of ICE.
Some landed on my bank door, some landed on the polio, and then I think I felt something here, which is when I lunged towards him, and luckily I didn't catch an assault charge.
The weeks of division and violence.
It's been a crazy situation about ICE, the protests. You got people getting, some people getting violent on both sides, which is a wild situation. Let's go over into this next. We didn't really want to go too far into this video, but let's go into the next video where we hear about the family's reaction to this prior incident.
All right, we begin with developing news for you this morning. A short time ago, Maine Senator Susan Collins announced ICE is ending its, quote, enhanced activities in her state. She says Secretary Noem confirmed the move directly to her. Turning to Minnesota now, we have a new video showing Alex Pretti in a confrontation with federal agents. This is 11 days before he was killed by Border Patrol. And sources tell CBS News the agents who fired their weapons during the Saturday struggle with Pretti are now on administrative leave. This unrest in Minneapolis over the deadly shooting of Pretti has become a flashpoint for debate on Capitol Hill. And even Republicans are now criticizing Stephen Miller and Kristi Noem.
He got out in front and told the president, before he'd even taken the time to understand the incident that happened in Minneapolis, that a terrorist had been killed and was brandishing a weapon. It's like this. These are amateurs in the strictest sense of the word.
But we can't just say, oh, nothing to see here, and he was obviously an assassin and a domestic terrorist. When we say things like that, it leads to no confidence.
The GOP criticism is fueling Democrats as they threaten a shutdown if funding for DHS ignores ICE reform.
Senate Democrats are united.
Now, we're not going to stop it too much, but they definitely shouldn't have said, because they immediately made a statement saying that he walked up to them with a gun. I've seen a lot of videos of this incident. Now, if somebody else seen something, tell me, but everything I've seen has just shown a phone. He just had his gun in his back waistband like he did in the prior incident. He had a gun in his back waistband, which is completely legal for him to do. But let's keep going.
On a set of common sense and necessary policy goals that we need to rein in ICE and end the violence.
I hope we can get this thing back on track. We need to fund the government.
And this morning, the Senate is set to hold a test vote on the government funding package. Democrats have pledged to block it over the push to give more money to DHS. But the New York Times is now reporting a deal with President Trump may be in the works. We've got team coverage for you on all these topics this morning. Natalie Brand is standing by at the White House with the latest on the shutdown fight. But let's start with our Ian Lee in Minneapolis to show us what's happening there on the ground. Ian, good morning. We mentioned this new video of Alex Pretti. What exactly does it reveal, though, and how is his family responding?
Hey, Errol. So, yeah, this video came out and the family has confirmed that it is him in the video. And when you watch the video, you can see him what appears to be spitting at a ICE vehicle and then kicking at it a couple times. And the last time he smashes out the back taillight. ICE agents then get out of the vehicle. There is a scuffle, and eventually he is released and he walks away. In that video, though, you can also see what appears to be a gun in his waistband as well. And this incident happened 11 days before that fatal shooting. And some people may look at it and say, you know, it doesn't cast him in the most favorable of light. Well, his family released a statement through their lawyer, and that it says, a week before Alex was gunned down in the street, despite posing no threat to anyone, he was violently assaulted by a group of ICE agents. Nothing that happened a full week before could possibly have justified Alex's killing at the hands of ICE on January 24th. So the family is saying that the two incidents.
Now, I don't think I never say that it justifies it, but it does show that he's used to confrontation with the federal agents, or that he's gone out his way to have confrontations with him. Now, nothing about, like I said before, I didn't see anything to where he looked like he was trying to assassinate ICE agents. I wasn't right there in the whole situation. I don't know what they truly felt, but from the video that we saw, they took the gun away and he didn't have any more weapons on him. But if they come out with something else, then hey. But I, I don't think there was a need to shoot. But like I said, I wasn't in that situation, and I don't know if he truly felt his life was at danger. But let's keep going and see what else they got to say.
Incidents are not related, but it does shed new light on just who Alex Pretti was and in his involvement in the anti-ICE protests in Minneapolis.
And then, of course, that video was followed by his shooting death this past Saturday. What are we learning about the agents involved in that?
Yeah, so 2 agents involved in the shooting. That shooting happened about 5 seconds after someone says he has a gun, and despite that gun being taken away from him. Well, right afterwards, Gregory Bovino said that the agents had been reassigned for their safety to different areas because he was afraid they'd be doxxed or their identities would be revealed. Well, we're finding out now that they were placed on administrative leave, and we don't know exactly the time they were placed on leave, but that goes along with the protocol that is typical with incidents where you have federal agents using their guns. Errol?
Yeah, it's typical of any kind of situation with the police or anything like that when a shooting occurs and there's a lot of scrutiny on it. Just look at any incident with a police shooting. They are immediately placed on leave. Then later on, once an investigation comes out and they are found guilty, that is when they are fired and criminal charges are pressed. But overall, it's a crazy situation. Do I think that he deserved to be killed? No. But was I in that situation? No. So I can't say 100% that he was not a threat. I don't know what he had in that situation. Just from the video I've seen, the gun was taken away and then they shot it, which is never how things are supposed to go. But this is the stuff we have to review. This is the stuff we need to look at so we can have a discussion on it. A civilized discussion. There's no need to get angry, but let's talk about it. Tell me if you think I said something wrong. Tell me if you think I'm missing something. Overall, it's a crazy situation. And at the end of the day, I will say this. Never get into any kind of law enforcement's way. If they tell you to do something, go ahead and apply. Go ahead and do what they say. Do not resist. And if you feel like your rights are being violated, call your lawyer when you get the chance at the end. After you're already arrested, call your lawyer. Don't fight because that's just you don't know what can happen. And you're just going to end up putting your life in danger if it is a bad cop. But let me know your thoughts and let me know if you disagree with anything I said.